Assalamu alaikum, it's Haroon Qureshi here. Welcome to the Haroon Qureshi channel. Today we're going to be discussing something super important, which is high performance. Okay, now you are in a position where you're going to need to perform at a high level somewhere in your life, whether it be at work or business or any other area. Now, when it comes down to high performance, if you look at any scenario, let's say a classroom scenario, there are people, or even for example, let's say the Olympics or whatever it is, a sports, right? There are people that perform higher than everyone else. So going back to the classroom, there will be the small percentage at the top that perform better than anyone else, okay? And then there'll be other people that will perform average and a lot of people that perform very poorly, okay? So the question is look, you're gonna need to perform in certain areas of your life. So what is it that 1% do, the top performers, what is it that they do for them to be able to achieve such amazing results in whatever they want to put their mind towards, okay? And there is certain habits that they have that if you were to implement and install into your life, it will it will cause like a drastic change in not only your performance, but in your life as a whole, okay? And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you, a simple formula that if you follow this, it's going to be completely game changing for you in your life and what you're able to achieve, okay? Now, the reason why I'm extremely passionate about this specific topic myself is because when I was going through my educational journey, I was pretty much the lowest in the class. I used to get D's, E's, F's. That was my average, okay? I used to fail at everything. But when I went to university and I did my final year, I left with a first class honors degree in internet business, which was the highest level somebody can get in that field. So how is it that somebody went from absolute failure to being a top student, okay? And not just that, taking knowledge and executing on knowledge to actually launch my own businesses that have generated 7 figures plus, okay? That is something that I've been able to achieve. And I really focus it down to what I'm about to teach you today. It's not about the business plan. It's not about the strategy. It's about you yourself and how you're wired and the strategies you use to actually execute at the highest level for you to achieve the results you want. So let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen now. So this is what we're going to be looking at, okay? I'm going to try my best at drawing the formula out for you to kind of learn this. So kind of really take this as a very short class for you to consume this information and see how you can apply it into your life and ideally into your business, okay? If you don't have a business right now and you want to do a business, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. In this video, at the bottom, you'll have some links so you can touch base with me so I can help you in that department. But obviously do that after this video, right? So look, let's jump straight into this then, okay? So this is what I call the high performance formula. Let's just add in the word formula in there. Okay, just ignore my my mistakes, okay, so let's just call it the high performance formula, okay? So in a very simple nutshell, okay, let me just give you a simple formula, right? Input equals output, okay? All right, so input equals output, okay? Now if you want to achieve something in life, the output of that achievement is going to be dependent on your input, right? So for example, if you want to memorize the Quran, for example, if you put 5 minutes a day compared to, let's say, 1 hour a day, the output within a month is going to be very different compared to the person that did 5 minutes a day to the person that did 1 hour a day, okay? It's going to be a massive difference, okay? So in the same way in business, if somebody's putting maybe half an hour a day or a certain amount of actions towards a business and somebody is doing it full time, for example, the results are going to be massively different within a time frame, okay? So when it comes down to performance, we need a higher output, okay? So what we need to do is we need to put our attention on this, which is the input. How can we put more input in our life for us to be able to get a higher output, okay? Now, for us to do this, this is pretty much where the formula kicks in, okay? So let's go ahead and write this, okay? So energy plus time equals level of output dash performance, okay? So obviously my performance, let's just reduce the size so you can see this clearly, okay? Okay, so essentially your energy plus your time, okay, equals the level of sorry, level of output and your performance. Okay, so let me explain what this formula is, because obviously at this stage it's not really going to make any sense to you. Okay, so essentially, look, like I said, let's assume that you want to do a business, you want to achieve high end business, and what I see as a big issue, even with people that are getting some level of success, is they themselves are not essentially optimized for success. Okay, for example, if you're driving let's say a Nissan Micra 1 liter slow car compared to a Ferrari, one is going to go faster and get to the destination much quicker than the other one in a much better way. Okay, so you got to see yourself almost like a vehicle, and you need to say to yourself, what type of vehicle am I? Am I a slow performing vehicle, a low performing vehicle, or am I a high performance vehicle? Okay, so first and foremost, the first question that I look at, and what I'm essentially doing is, I myself have gone through my own journey of knowledge and education, and getting myself to get from low performance to trying to become the best version of myself, okay, and being able to achieve the highest amount. Now, the first element that I want to talk about is energy. Okay, so the number one output, for you to have a high level of output, you need energy. Okay, you need that physical energy and mental energy for you to go out and actually go and do something. Okay, and the level of energy that you have is going to give you not just the stamina, but the output that is going to increase if you've got a high level of energy. And some people by nature, they are just born with high energy. I've seen people that they could be half asleep, but they're like full of energy, like they've just had a Red Bull, or a coffee or something, right? With me personally, I've struggled with this immensely in my journey. So I've been in a position where I've gone through periods where my energy level has been so low, like so low to the point that I could do a full day of work and just not achieve anything. Okay. And for example, one area that this happened was after the last Ramadan. I saw when Ramadan finished, my energy level just completely tanked, because obviously with Ramadan, your sleeping patterns all over the place, your eating's all over the place. And obviously it's not your normal routine. Okay. So for me, once Ramadan finished, my energy was so low, and I knew it was a personal problem with me, because for example, I would go out with family, my family's absolutely fine, they've got energy, and I'm like, I want to go to sleep. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do, okay, in my opinion, when it comes down to energy, okay, is do an audit. Okay, an energy audit. And what I mean by that is, I realized there's something wrong with me personally. Okay, so I went to the doctors and I said, look, something's wrong with me, my energy levels is completely low, and give me a blood test. Okay, and most likely they will offer you a free blood test, whatever. And even if your energy isn't super low, you could just contact them and say, look, I'm having some concerns about my levels of energy, can you give me a blood test, right? And they will most likely do that. So I did that, and what they basically said to me, the reason why you've got low energy is because my vitamin D levels are completely low. Okay, so what then, from the audit that was done, and in the past I've even paid privately, by the way, for a blood test, right? But you don't really need to, the doctors will normally do this for you. So they said my vitamin D levels were low. They told me this is the amount of vitamin D levels that I need. I started taking the vitamin D supplements, and then I had some level of normality when it came down to my energy, right? And I even asked them, do I need to take multivitamins? And they're like, no, not really. Your vitamins are generally okay. Just make sure you're taking your vitamin D tablets and stuff like that, right? So my first thing is, go to the doctors, whatever your situation is, to get an audit done to see if there's anything wrong within you, right? And I've seen so many other people, they've had some sort of like, I don't know, it's called zinc poisoning, or look, literally, oh, you're looking at my screen. I've got a reminder, because it's after lunchtime, have my vitamins. So it was just a coincidence that pop-up message came at the same time, right? So that I'm not joking. Like, I scheduled this stuff in, okay? Okay, that was funny. Okay, so look, so that's the first thing. Okay, so once you've done an audit, when it comes down to the level of energy, there's three things to analyze. Okay, and the first one is your sleep. Okay, as I took my energy, as I took my vitamins and stuff, and I kind of had better energy throughout the day, one thing I realized about myself is that I was still feeling very sluggish, okay? And I realized my sleeping pattern was just not to par, right? It was not good enough, to the point that one of the biggest issues I had was I was sleeping late and I was waking up early, right? So my body was not getting the level of rest it needed. So the first thing I did is I downloaded an app. I think it's called Sleep Cycle, I believe, or something like that. Or you can just search it online. I think it's like an orange alarm clock looking logo. So anyway, so I downloaded this app. I analyzed my sleep over 5 days, and then I was able to see, look, okay, this is the reason why I'm feeling a lot sluggish, is because my sleeping patterns all over the place. And then I put a kind of bedtime where, I need to kind of be in at 10, bed at 10, 10:30 max, try to sleep by 11 o'clock, and then, have a certain amount of sleep. And on adults, we need anywhere between 7 to 9 hours sleep. So you should have solid, high quality sleep, and obviously make sure that you're sleeping enough and start analyze that. But I think the biggest thing that made the massive difference is just having a routine of sleeping as early as possible. Like, be in bed, switch off everything, 10:30. Make sure your room's dark. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure there's, you're not on your phone. Just switch off and go to sleep, right? And you can do some further studies into improving your sleep and so forth, okay? So sleep routine is important, making sure you've got the right level of sleep. The second element is eating, okay? So your eating is a huge factor, because what I realized for myself is, let's say like I took my vitamins, I started sleeping well, but I would have moments in my day where I just felt so sluggish, especially after lunch, okay? And I realized this because what's happening is that when I'm eating, that body is putting its energy and focus into now digesting that food. So you would get what you called food coma, and I would feel tired and dizzy, and that will affect the output that I have in the day, okay? So there's a few things that I've done to really iron this out, right? The first thing I would say is such a massive difference is eat simple food, and consistently eat food. Like, for example, like test out what works and what doesn't work. Like, for example, I know if I eat pasta and cheese at lunchtime, I'm gone, right? I can't work after that, right? My body just like focus on that, yeah? So like I start, just make a simple sandwich, tuna sandwich, something simple, egg sandwich, something that's comfortable that your body can digest easily, and just plan it out. Like for me, I don't mind too much about dinner because I'm not really doing any heavy mental work, but lunchtime I try to eat very simple food, maybe have some snacks as well, right? But the massive difference is, the biggest difference I've had is something called intermittent fasting, okay? You want to search this out, right? So what that basically means is, intermittent fasting is when you don't have breakfast, all right? So after dinner, I don't eat, for example. In the morning, I don't have any food up until lunchtime, okay? Now, people have told me don't do that. That's breakfast is the best meal in the world, and it's the most important, and so on and so forth, right? But what you realize is, what ends up happening is that your eating becomes like, what ends up happening in that period is the first 1-2 days, just like Ramadan, is a bit challenging, but your body starts getting used to it, okay? So what happens is, in that time frame, when you wake up, your body is in a state what they call ketosis, meaning there's no food in your stomach, and it needs to burn energy. So because there's no food, instead of burning energy, it burns fat, okay? So what ends up happening is that I can eat anything I want throughout the day, and I end up losing weight, okay? So when I'm not doing intermittent fasting, I put on weight. And when I have this lifestyle of intermittent fasting, which it becomes really easy, I actually lose weight and I can eat anything I want. So if you wanna lose weight in an automated way without thinking, I'm telling you, intermittent fasting is a game changer for you, right? It will change your life. I'm telling you, try it out. Now, the one thing that happens when you do this is, and I even told somebody about this recently, and they were like, that actually happened, is that your brain becomes so much more focused, okay? That mind fog goes in the morning. You get so much more output between breakfast to lunch, right? And you don't need to be super strict. I normally still have a cup of tea to wake me up, and I sometimes have a fruit like a banana or something, right? So you don't need to be super strict with it, but the less you put in your body, the less your body needs to put that energy towards food. So that energy then goes towards your work. Okay. So I would put here intermittent fasting. I might have spelled it wrong. Doesn't matter. Okay. But that's another thing to look into. Okay. And the third element, the third most important point here is your your exercise. Okay. So you need to be doing exercise. If you're watching this video and you're not doing exercise, make a commitment now. Like, pause this video, join a gym, do something. Go once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. But you're like, a lot of us, we're just working in an office and it affects us. We have a very low quality, kind of low energy type of working lifestyle, and it affects us dramatically. So just going to the gym 1, 2, 3 times a week has a massive impact on not just our physical state, our strength, our energy levels, but also just that mindset. Because when you exercise, you release endorphins, which are kind of chemicals that make you feel good. It helps you like, if the one solution to get out of depression and that type of state is do exercise. Okay, so do that, and minimum, if you can't do that, go for walks. Go for daily walks. Is a massive one. Walks, exercise, something where you get your heart pumping a little bit. So, as fast, brisk walking is good, whatever the case is, right? So this is what I would say in regards to your personal energy, that if that needs to be in place for you to really drastically improve your energy levels. Obviously do an audit with a doctor to make sure there's nothing internally wrong. You haven't got any chemical poisoning or low vitamins or anything that's slowing you down. Make sure you analyze your sleep cycle, and you can do one of these at a time. You don't need to go all guns blazing. Focus on your sleep, analyze your sleep cycle, put in a routine where you sleep early. Number 2, analyze your food and test out intermittent fasting. Do it for a week. Message me, let me know how it goes. Do exercise, join a gym, do 1, 2, 3 times a week. If not, do daily walks. And sometimes even when I'm like on the phone, I'm walking up and down just to get my body up and running, right? So that is what I would say in the level of your energy. Okay. All right. So let's just put that there. Okay. So energy, the next area is your time. Okay. So let's look at time. All right. So let's say you're in a very good physical energy state. You've got good sleep. You're freshened up. You're eating really healthy, clean, good food. And your mental fog isn't there. You're sharp. You're exercising. So you're physically in a really good position. The next point is in regards to your time. Okay. And I feel this is where a lot of people lack, where pretty much 99% that people just live life like on a day-to-day routine without really controlling where their life is going, what they're doing, and so on and so forth, right? So for me, the first thing you need to have is a vision. Okay. People don't generally have a vision for their life of what they want to do, what they want to achieve. And it's important for you to take out your time, go somewhere secluded and sit down and say, what do I really want to achieve out of my life? Am I going to live my life just day-to-day mundane and just that's it and die? Or am I really going to go out there and try to achieve the best I possibly can with this small time that God has blessed me with, right? Like, for example, my vision is a financial one. I'm passionate about business. My focus is to build a business that's doing $1 million a month in either sales or profit, ideally profit. That's where I'm working towards. And I know that could take me anywhere between the next 1 to 10 years to achieve. Okay. So that is my vision. And the reason why isn't really just about the lifestyle, but I know that level of money will allow me to do more good in the world, which will allow me to get high results in the akhirah. Right. So that's like my vision I want to get to. Right. Then you've got like a month, let's say a yearly goal. Okay. So you might have a yearly goal, a quarterly goal. Okay. And then I would say a monthly goal. Okay. So like a lot of people, they I want to build $1 million business within a year. Okay. There's a one book called, what was it called? I think it was called, 90-day year or 3-month year, or what was it? 90-day year. I can't remember exactly the name, right? But basically what it was saying is, look, take your 1-year goal and fit it into 3 months, okay? Because when you focus so far ahead, 90 days, 1 year, you procrastinate, you do less. And if somebody is doing yearly planning but are trying to achieve it in 3 months, they basically have 4 quarters where they're trying to hit for the highest result, right? Their level of action, their mindset is much, much higher, right? And for me, I personally, what works with me is monthly goals. Like I know that, okay, this is how much I need to be generating a month. This is the results I need to do. So my main focus is that month, just to laser focus on exactly what the goal is for that month. So I would say, have a vision of where you want to go, and have a goal what you want to achieve for the month. Okay, I already put goal, so I put goal twice. Okay, so that's your kind of monthly goal, right? And then your day is where I want to talk about the output side, right? Now everyone has the same amount of time essentially, right? 24 hours. So a billionaire has the same amount of time than somebody that works in McDonald's, okay? Now, this is really where the output comes, okay? So if I just draw a table here, okay, let's say you work 8 hours a week on your business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? So these are 8 slots of hour, okay? Now, the output now, okay, the output that you're going to produce in that 8-hour day, okay, let's just put in 8-hour day here, just so 8-hour day, okay, this is what this is, okay. What you're going to produce here is going to define your output, okay. So what needs to happen here is, number one, you need your full energy, and you need to audit how your energy levels are in each of these units of time, these 1 hour units of time, okay. So let's say this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay. Your units of time you need to get the most out of, okay. And what you should be doing is, on a daily basis, planning out each hour, okay. And the massive point here is focus, okay. So you want to focus on one output here. So that means put your full attention and focus on that output, okay. You know what you want to achieve in a month. You then break it down into the small actions and milestones that you need to do, and then you basically start hitting at them every hour. Put your phone on silent, put your social media off, get your mind focused and with your full energy in this hour. And what you will achieve in this 1 hour, if you really do this to that level that you need to, you will most likely achieve more than what people achieve in a whole week, if not a whole month, okay. So focus hour by hour. This is what I'm going to achieve in this hour. This is what I'm going to achieve. And you can do 45-minute slots. So like 45 minutes, have a 15-minute break, okay? And one thing that is really important that I forgot to mention in the eating side is also drinking water, okay? One of the reasons why we don't have enough enough energy is also because our body is dehydrated. So you need to have a bottle with you, and you're sipping it throughout this day on these 8-hour, timings, drinking water, getting yourself fresh, going for small walks, whatever it needs to be, getting yourself up and running, but audit day by day. And then you can audit exactly what did you achieve in that day, okay? And what tends to happen is, majority of the people, they have not optimized their units of time at an hourly basis. And because of that, within an 8-hour day, within a 1 hour day, they hardly achieve anything. Whereas the people that are they're high performers, they take each unit of time, they put an intense level of energy and focus, and that results in massive output on a daily, monthly, weekly, and yearly level, okay? And then what happens is that when, especially as CEOs of businesses, what you then focus on doing is focus your time on not small actions. So there may be some actions like checking social media, checking your email, like low quality things that you can hire somebody for $5-10 on Upwork, and they can do that job. You want to focus on those 1,000 pound an hour actions, like for example trying to close a deal, or building a funnel, or shooting a video, or whatever it is, right? So these are the actions that you want to put your time and focus on, and that's what's really going to give you your biggest output, right? So let's go and summarize the high performance formula, okay? What we essentially discussed is, look, any goal you want to achieve, the output of you trying to achieve that result, whether ideally, let's say it's in business, but it could be in any other area of your life, such as your career, learning, memorizing Quran, whatever, is going to be dependent on the input that you give, okay? And the quality of your output is going to be dependent on the quality of your input, okay? So for you to give the best input into something, into achieving something, you need a high level of energy, and you need to utilize the time to ensure that there's going to be a good level of action and focus to achieve a high level of outputs within the units of time that we have been given, okay? So for us to get a high level of energy, you need to audit your level of energy now, get a blood test, see if there's anything wrong, measure your sleeping and have a sleep cycle and a sleeping routine, eat healthy and drink lots of water, and have an exercise routine and go for walks. And then in regards to the level of your time, have a vision of what you want to achieve within the next 10 years, within the next 1 year. What are you trying to achieve in the next quarter? What is your month goal? And then write down all the actions that you need to achieve that result in that month. And then plan those actions out on a daily basis. And then structure it in your every unit of time that you work in the day with intense focus and intense energy. And you will see that the amount of output that you get here, the amount of output that you essentially end up with after doing all of this is going to be far much higher than anybody else that is around you, that is possibly competing with you or within your field or whatever the case is. You're going to be among those top 10%, 1% high performers compared to everyone else. Okay, so I hope you've took some extremely valuable information here. Please do implement it, write notes, rewatch this if you need to. Message me. I'm going to add some links in the description if you want to message me on Instagram. Let me know what you thought of. If you're in a position where you're interested in launching a business, you don't know what to do, you want my support, I have a team that actually works with building businesses for you and gets you up and running within a 30-day period where you're up and running and generating income and sales. If you want that type of support and help from me, click that link below, and then from there you get some free training. You can get to book a call and so forth. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button, the like button, add a nice little comment, will be really appreciated, and I'll see you very soon. Assalamu alaikum.